Welcome to Ageless Blissings Radio with host Brenda Pearce. Stay tuned for great conversations with authors, healers, and leaders in the personal transformation realm. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Remember that the comments and commentary are that of the participants and not reflective of the Sacred Embers Network, and are not meant to diagnose or treat any medical issues. Now let's get on with the show.
Welcome to Ageless Blissings Radio. It's Brenda Pearce, the empowered nurse, here to triage body, mind, and spirit. And I am so excited because I have twin flame love Sage Taylor Kingsley Goddard and her amazing, beautiful, handsome husband, Mark Goddard. And I'm just going to give you a little description about what we're going to be experiencing. We're going to go to a commercial break, and then we'll be back with this beautiful, beautiful duo. So sit tight, strap on your seatbelts, and let's have some fun. First of all, we're going to be welcoming we're going to have more intuitive, joyous, and prosperity with this amazing light being of who you are in this episode. This is what twin flame healers Sage and Mark Goddard help you to create and celebrate, catalyze, and magnetize in your life and in your world. Sage is known as the Prosperous Goddard, Prosperous Goddess, and channels Archangel Michael and the Divine Mother, and was voted the world's #1 spiritual expert on the law of attraction. Mark is known worldwide for his powerful energy clearings and visual medicine shamanic art that heals. Sage and Mark weave divine feminine masculine energies to liberate you from fear to freedom and to go from stress to blessed, so you can prosper, thrive, and shine, sharing your soul gifts as only you can. So let's get ready. We'll be back right after this commercial break, so sit tight.
Do you experience frequent headaches, sleep disturbances, skin prickling and burning, rashes, transient muscle and joint pain? Do you sit in front of your computer or under fluorescent lights for long periods of time? You could be experiencing electromagnetic sensitivity. Reduce the ravages with PEMF therapy. Just 8 minutes twice daily will calm your body down to healthy resonance and regeneration. Reduce stress and promote well-being. Find out more today by visiting www.pemfconsultant.com. That's www.pemfconsultant.com today.
So welcome back, and today I'm so excited to bring to you two of today's top experts on healing spiritual husband and wife, twin flame master heroes in my mind, I tell you, but healers, Mark and Sage.
Woohoo! Thank you, Brenda. Woo-hoo! We're so happy to be here.
Let the party begin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So I've known the two of you for many years now, and I'm always so deeply touched to have to share that I had to have you on Blissful Aging for you to be here. It's just such a privilege. And we are going to be exploring the divine feminine and masculine energy and learn more about the two of you. And you've been together now for how long?
It's 21 years, actually. I know.
It's a fabulous experience.
Awesome.
It's been a wonderful journey.
And we still not only love each other and in love with each other, but we still really like each other. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the biggest trick of all. Oh, that is so amazing. Well, I'm so glad that you're here, and I know that you each have your own unique messages and ways of serving and healing and transforming. Is that right?
Right, that's true. Yeah, we've both been on the spiritual path even before we met each other. It's kind of how we magnetized each other too, and a lot of inner work on ourselves first, and really becoming our own soulmates first. And the beautiful thing about the right sacred relationship, intimate relationship, is it actually enhances your personal growth and your spiritual path instead of being like a detraction and distraction and just a whole lot of drama, you know? So we have so much harmony, and we fully support, each other's ways of sharing and showing up in the world. And we have each of us a separate business, and we also have a collective business where we have Reiki programs together, and we teach some retreats collectively at Sacred Sites. I also teach some retreats just for women, Prosperous Goddess, and Sacred Sites too. So we have some overlap of ways that we share and come together and make a difference in people's lives together. And then we have things that we do kind of on our own that complement really nicely. So thanks for asking. Yeah.
Yeah, so, we all have this amazing love for Reiki. I've studied many different modalities, but Reiki is the one that I go back to the most. And I know that you're both Reiki masters as well and teachers, and you've even developed a Money Reiki Masters program as well, right?
We have been doing the Reiki program for a bit longer, and it was kind of a neat journey how that all unfolded. But the Money Reiki thing has come into the fore in more recent times, and 4 or 5 years. Yeah, so we've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years, and Sage attuned me. It was a wonderful experience to have my dear wife attune me with this, and I've kind of taken it a step further in the sense that I've incorporated a lot of the shamanic work, what I do with the rituals and transmissions around Money Reiki. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And people have been calling them zaps because they actually feel the energy coming through when I'm so-called beaming them the energy. And so that's been a powerful experience, and I started working with this individually with the moon cycles, mm-hmm. and a lot of people work with the moon as a positive force in manifestation, but usually they think of the full moon as that, and it is that. But I also work with the new moon in this because when you set intention at this time, it's the beginning of the waxing phase. So you're setting your intention to ride the expansion of the light exposure of the moon all the way up to the full period. So it's literally at that whole month period of time that you can work with this. And then of course, at the full moon, it's like your grand intention.
The height.
Yeah, the height.
One thing about Money Reiki, we weren't the original developers of Money Reiki, but we've added quite a lot to it. And I've added a lot more that's angelic, which is more my, style and frequency and connection with the angels. And Mark added a lot more that's shamanic. So between the two of us, what's been integrated and woven with Money Reiki is really quite unique. And we also have new symbols that have, been beamed to us that we get to share with people. Mark's amazing with his Money Reiki zap sessions that he does. The longest one was 72 hours long. Okay, they're not like just. He's in sacred space. He's doing medicine wheel. He's touching in with everybody's intentions, and then he's really going deep into this shamanic medicine man trance state, and he's working with every single person individually as well as collectively. And I swear, I measured it. I was like, oh my God, he's still doing it. It's 3 days long. Now, most of them aren't that long. That was the longest, but most of them might be 6 hours, 10 hours, something like that. So that's pretty amazing. And then he does clearing sessions, individual sessions. And then I have other things that I do too. So we're very, very blessed. And, as far as money and spirituality, like that's a whole subject in itself too, right? Because so many spiritual people, so many loving people like you and us and most of the audience here. Hi, everybody. Many people have issues with abundance because we see so many ways that money is misused and that power is misused, and one can get, beliefs that money is the problem or that rich people are the problem, and that, if you want to be prosperous, but you think rich people are ruining the planet, then, how does that equate, right?
Exactly.
You have trouble charging money for your work as a healer, So there's a lot of issues like that I love to help people heal.
It is totally, because some people think that it's blasphemy to put money and spirituality together, and yet isn't that what God is love, and isn't that what we're supposed to be doing, is receiving benefit in measure for the energy we put out? It really is our time to really drop the broke healer perspective, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, the more we're struggling, there was one line I love from Reverend Michael Beckwith that always cracks me up, and he says it so well. He said, "You can't be the light of the world if you can't pay your light bill."
That is so true. That is so true. I mean, the days of where we could walk down the street and do our energy work and our healing and get a chicken paid back, which is great, is those are in the past, right? Like, I mean, we really have to be able to be the light if we want to share the light. So we have to be able to pay the light. I love it.
Well, true. Money is one of the main ways that energy circulates on our planet. And I know a lot of people feel like, well, we should transcend beyond, needing a system of money that is so archaic and hierarchical and so forth. But the fact is, it's still here. This is the system that exists. You pay your mortgage, you pay for your food, you pay for your light bill, you pay for your whatever, with money. So we as healers, as light workers, we deserve to be prosperous just as much as a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, and so forth. Any other kind of professional who's doing something good, in the world. And don't even get me started on how much how little teachers get paid, and, and the whole struggling artist thing. And there's so many places we can go with this. But one thing that really helped me heal my relationship with money, because Mark and I, you guys who don't know us yet, you don't know necessarily that we've both had bankruptcies, and we actually lost our home in 2006. We were among those millions of North Americans, especially United States folks, who had taken on more than we could afford with a loan, and we lost our house. So we moved 7 times in 1 year with young children under the age of 6. So we were talking about first chakra, and the rug being pulled out from under you. So we really went through quite a lot of spiritual fire on our own about that. And we really said, okay, we're done with this kind of struggle, God, universe, we know who we are. We know we do good work. We know that we're loving people. We deserve to be happy and successful, just as everyone does. So enough already.
Right? And that really goes into the whole concept of birthright. And I just want to share with the listeners that the whole concept of our birthright as living beings, particularly human beings, as part of the universal mix, and we're all connected, and everything is connected, physically and energetically on some way or level, based on quantum physics. And what we've known all along as spiritual beings. So what the gift that I like to share with people to help them out is some ideas around, how can we get some level of clarity? And, like what the clearing sessions I do, I literally am getting in there and helping people visualize by association what is ailing their experience in life. And then I physically and dramatically clear it out. It's like a shape-shifting thing, which is like a core aspect of like a lot of shamanic practices. And it's a psychic surgery. Yeah. So what I like to share with people is, I do the work that I do, but we can do some things on our own. And with regard to this, when we're in the middle of stuff, it's really difficult. And a lot of that stuff is emotional. Sure. So if we can kind of separate things out, and I love looking at things from a global perspective and looking where all the puzzle pieces fit. So if you guys can look at the various aspects of your life as puzzle pieces And, you can kind of separate the pieces that fit well together, and then all the miscellaneous ones you don't have places for yet, you can get kind of a metaphorical idea. So pieces of paper are great. Write everything down that's bothering you, writing everything down that's going well for you, and you can see the roadmap, and then you can kind of like prepare yourself to maybe do some ritual around what's to be let go. There are numerous things you can do for releasing, setting intention for moving forward, and so forth.
So this is great, and I think one of the big keys, like in the overlap in our work, Brenda and everybody, is that we have seen over and over, and this is like one of our mantras, that everything is energy and energy is everything. So that is a mantra right there. It's a Sage and Mark mantra, right? Everything is energy. I mean, that's a fact of physics, right? And energy is everything, meaning when we heal our energy, it makes all the difference, because yes, we have to take action. I believe not only the law of attraction, but the law of action too. But one of the other laws that a lot of people need help with, and that I really specialize in, is the law of alignment. So if your energy isn't aligned, you could be taking all the right actions, and you could have all the strategies and all the head-based, left brain, knowledge and information. We live in this TMI age, right? But no matter how much information and strategies and how much action you take, if you're not aligned, you're going to be going nowhere really fast in a hamster wheel that just goes, You're working really hard. You're like, why am I not ahead of where I was, a year ago, a month ago, 5 years ago? Why does it feel like I'm working so hard? And I love helping people, especially light workers and women and heart-centered people, just really shift the way they run their energy, shift their beliefs. And with women especially, there's a lot about receiving. I know you totally get this, Brenda. You and I have connected on so many levels about health issues and family things and money things, and all kinds of stuff. I know you totally get this. And so many of us women are giveaholics. We're just giveaholics. It's like there's always someone else to be doing something for, especially those of us who are mothers. Not everyone is a mother, but many of us are. Some are grandmothers. We certainly have pets. Some of us have elders that we're taking care of. My mother, who's 88, God bless her, she just moved to three miles away from us, from Las Vegas. She now lives 3 miles away, and she's visually impaired. So that's a lot of responsibility on our household, taking care of her, making sure all her needs are met. I believe, though, that we have to be there for our elders, just like we have to be there for our children, but we also have to be there for ourselves. Because if we keep giving and giving and doing, there's a reason the Twilight Zone song goes do 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 do. That's what's doing, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
We have to let ourselves be rejuvenated. And I hired not too long ago, about a year ago, I got to my business to six figures without really hiring any significant business coaches or anything. And then a year ago, I knew it was time to scale it up to get to the next level. I've now made over $1 million with my business. Not in 1 year, but still, that's something I'm very delighted to have experienced and to help other people with. But one of my business coaches' sayings is sometimes the best business move is a hot bath.
I love that.
That's cool. That she gets that, because sometimes when your head is spinning and you're like, oh, should I do this and should I do that? And whether it's about business or it's about anything else in life, we have a million decisions that we're making all the time. Every choice we make is kind of putting us in the universe, right? We want to be as intuitive as we can, and we want to be as aligned as we can. And that's what I love helping people do. So we get so excited. You can tell how excited we both are about our work, because honestly, our work is not work to us. It's play, and it's just love in action. So grateful, to get to do what we do and to help people. And nothing is more satisfying than knowing that you're making a difference in people's lives and seeing those shifts that they're going through from the life they're living to really living more of the life they want to be living. And you know, everyone, they know when there's a kind of gap, you know, you feel that gap. You feel it in your heart, you know, you feel it in your soul that like, this isn't quite it, you know, something's missing. You know, why am I not happier? And even we work too with people who are very successful, too, and like high achievers and, you know, transformational thought leaders and so forth. But even if you're successful in whatever line of work that you have, or you have the beautiful house and you have the family and, you know, sort of what you would call the outer trappings of a happy life, if there's something inside of you that's missing, that's not letting you enjoy, you know, what you've created, then something needs to shift, right? Either about your perception of it, or maybe what you thought you wanted and now you manifested it. Maybe it's not really what you want or it's not what you want anymore. You know, we're all rediscovering ourselves. So we have to go deeper and we have to go higher. And that's where Mark and I come in there, like going deeper, like deeper within your own self, connecting with spirit, connecting with source, right? And higher, getting that higher guidance and trusting your own inner knowingness. My way of being an intuition teacher and a higher consciousness and spiritual teacher is not Sage has all the answers. Hand your power to Sage. Hand your power to Mark. No, guys, run away. People do that, you know, run away. You don't want to be in those disempowering relationships where you keep having to pay someone to tell you what to do with your life. That's not empowerment, you know. An empowering teacher helps you look within and helps you, not only shows you how to fish instead of handing you a fish, but I believe that a really excellent teacher helps you discover that you already know how to catch, or you already have the fish. You know what I mean? You already have what you need. It's about trusting and discerning and just clearing out the fears and the doubts and really being in your power. And now here we are at such a time of women's empowerment and women's awakening and, you know, the goddess rising. And I just want to say that it's important that we also honor the male energy too, because I think a lot of us awakening women and also awakening men who recognize that the goddess and the feminine and the perceptive and the intuitive and the nurturing, all these aspects of the feminine are so important. We need more of that in our world.
Both men and women.
It's absolutely
in both, because
we
are like magnets. We are like magnets. I coming from an earth-based perspective, I'm a gardener. I honor the plant people. I work with plant spirit medicine some of the times when it's appropriate.
You can grow anything.
It's really important to be connected with the earth, and in an era of devices and rapidly expanding expectations on us as well as conveniences, it's easy to get lost in terms of connections with ourselves, connections with the earth, and connections with one another.
Right.
And this is a big soapbox that I've built for myself in recent time with regard to devices. It's not that I don't like them. I've been using them all along and I love them, but I know how to set a limit between my needs with the outer world and the needs of the electronic world. But, you know, so that's all energy. So it's kind of like going back to the kinds of things that are important for all of us, you know, how our energies are blocked, you know, the chakras are blocked. The aura is discolored or has holes in it. The male and the feminine energies that we were talking about earlier are not in alignment. You know, it's like harmony with women have testosterone and males have estrogen, but the balance is different. So we show up differently in the world, but we both have the positive energy and the male energy. You know, it's like I see I misspoke. The male and the female energies. It's like the male energy is right side ascension with regard to the spine, and the feminine is, in my perception, on the left-hand side of the spine in a descending position.
Earthing.
And I come from the northern latitudes, and I love the northern latitudes. And one of the things that, ironically, I haven't seen is the aurora borealis, the northern lights.
Right.
But I use that as metaphor for our own energies, because our aura is light, just like those energies. And we are like magnets. We have a core. Our spine functions just like a magnet. So we have the energy that circulates through the heart, the torus shape that is the higher heart. That energy pours in like water down a drain, or like a hurricane or a typhoon where you have a funnel, like a tornado. That energy is moving based on a natural law, on a universal principle. And so that energy naturally works within us in the same way. If we have a consciousness around that, we can work with it. So, part of, being in harmony is getting rid of the negative energies, entities, patterns, what have you. And you get all that fear and all that stinking thinking out of your system. You can then be clearer and more grounded in your attempts to do what your strategies and your intentions focus you on doing. And a lot of what Sage was saying earlier, it's like, how can, it's like I'm a gardener. So it's like, how can we bloom? That's sharing our light with the world. And if you have blockages, you can't fully share your light. And because of the distortions, it might be attracting things to you that you don't really want.
And that's a good analogy too, Mark. Thanks for sharing that, honey, about the gardening, because if we think about it, if we want to grow and expand, we want to face the light, we want to be nourished, we want to be vibrant and filled with life force. So these can all work with a plant type analogy. And if we're preparing to plant a new garden, you have to do some weeding, and you have to remove maybe some large blocks. You maybe have to remove some rubble. I remember that one place we lived in Emeryville, how you turned it. The backyard, it was like a garbage heap, Brenda. It was like a garbage heap. It was like a dump. And by the time we moved out of that, like a year later, it was like a paradise. Just unbelievable. So he has this touch. And, you have to remove anything that's impeding the sun from reaching you, and one of the things I do is I read people's auras, which is really pretty phenomenal, incredible thing that I still pinch myself that, like, wow, can I really do that? But I have to say, after about 800 or maybe 1,000 aura readings in the last couple of decades, not one person has said anything was not correct. So that's like a 100% record, right? Which I give credit up to Spirit for that, and the angels, and that I'm grateful to be like, I call myself a straw for the great cosmic chocolate milkshake. My job is straw.
Delicious.
Milkshake, but I'm a straw, I can kind of help you, experience that. So when I read people's auras, Mark was alluding to that. Would it be helpful to share, do you think, with people about 7 different ways that your energy field can be blocked? Would that be a helpful thing to share with people, do you think?
Absolutely. Whatever you two are willing to share sounds absolutely wonderful. The thing is, you talk about the beautiful garden and preparing the soil and planting the crop and harvesting and all that. But do you believe that everyone needs to have a bit of winter in their life in order to appreciate the spring of life and the gardening and the sowing aspect and all the goodness of that preparation?
Yes, very much so. And it's some people live in a Mediterranean climate like we do here, and sometimes some seasons are longer than others as opposed to the balance. But I like to focus on the cycle too, the ritual cycle,
like the
directions, the medicine wheel.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
You have a beginning, you have an endurance period, you have a reflection, looks within period, and then you have contemplation. And those correspond to the seasons, new beginnings, spring, summer, that action moment. You get out, you do all the stuff in your life that, you do. It's an active time of year. And fall is that harvest that's like reaping what you've sown. And that has positive and negative connotations. But that whole concept of introspection and looking within and being able to accept with love all aspects of your being as part of the deep waters of the West. And then having learned something and being in a place of completion and dreaming new things and honoring nature, that restful period, winter, is the conclusion. So the north direction is often associated with snowy peaks of the mountains, so that concept of winter is there, and long endurance of, the creations of the universe and creations of nature.
And the cycles are so important. There's the natural cycles, like the cycle of the rhythm of the year, the wheel of the year. There's also the cycle of the moon cycles, like Mark was talking about. And then we women, of course, have cycles. Some of us still on the moon cycle in that sense, some of us on the other side of it. But there's also our personal cycles with like projects and chapters in our lives, so to speak. So everything has that kind of beginning of that innovation and intuition and the new ideas, the excitement, and it's the air element. And then we have the summer where we're going strong and, really taking actions and doing the work and making it happen. And then we have the fall where like we see the results and like, hey, this is awesome. The success is here. I can enjoy this fruit of my labor. And then we have this time of reflection, which is I interpret kind of what you said with winter, that it's that time of the earth element. And the west is the water. So the east is the air, the south is the fire, the west is the water, and then the north is the earth. And that's one aspect that I believe is really missing in our culture, for men as well as women, is that time to reflect and that time to just really look within and just slow down. And I call it enjoying the void, because we're not conditioned to enjoy the void. We're conditioned to be like, something is wrong. If I'm not constantly going and doing and producing, something is wrong, right? We feel lazy, we feel guilty. And sometimes we just have to slow the F down, And if we don't do it,
that's true. We're so busy being human doings that we forget to be human beings, right?
Exactly. I love that. That line from John Kabat-Zinn, I think, was one of the first to say that. And I studied meditation, mindfulness-based stress reduction meditation training with him. Amazing man, Dr. Zinn. And that is so true about human doings versus human beings. And this is one of the reasons why I love to lead retreats, because when you're out in nature, especially if you're at a sacred place, like a really magical place, you are like, your inner reset button is just boom. You just let go of the monkey mind. You let go. You're out of the EMF. You're out of your regular routine and environment. So you're open to this like new, rejuvenation and new inspiration. It's just so awesome. Our next retreat, can I just tell everybody really quick? I haven't done a women's retreat for 7 years. And I just follow Spirit's guidance on when do I need to lead this type of thing, when and where. So we have our next women's retreat, yay! And it's in May, and it's at Mount Shasta. And Mount Shasta is such a phenomenal place. You've got the celestial energy, the star energy, the Lemurian and Atlantean energy, the crystal energy. You have the Divine Mother energy. You have the Native American energy, the plants, it's just phenomenal. It's also known as the first chakra of the planet. So anyone who has first chakra issues or patterns with first chakra, it's just incredible. And we're doing a divine alignment goddess camp. So I'm just so excited. It's sisterhood and sacred ceremony for several days, just in this incredible place. So something to look forward to. And even in our regular day-to-day lives, we need to build in more time to just be. I call it me time, be time. Me time, be time. And take little self-love breaks, little time with spirit breaks. Give yourself that. If you don't build it into your life the easy way, then you're going to get the kick and the keister. You're going to have it the hard way, right?
That's true. Well, what's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So, yeah, that kick in the keister is really a wake-up call that we all need from time to time, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that I'd like to share with people, too, is human beings like ritual. Mm-hmm. We grow up, looking forward to holidays, looking forward to birthdays, just to put it on the simplest level. And one of the things I love about Waldorf education is that whole concept of really having those earth-based rituals grounded in the annual cycle as things to look forward to. And even like we as a family enjoy music a lot. I have a great love of music, and we have a Celtic heritage, and we look forward to every year going to the various Celtic events. They're fun to look forward to and enjoy, hearing new music, having the cultural rituals, what have you. So the whole concept of ritual is really important, folks. We all need to re-embrace that. And, it's like in our modern society, we're expected to be cogs in the machine, maybe even ghosts in the machine. But the whole concept of what human beings really need is that earth connection, that cultural connection, that familial connection, and village connection. We need to reconnect, have those, that whole phrase, everything we learned in kindergarten. If we apply those principles to our daily interactions with one another, we get along really well. Some will say that the surface level things are trivial, and direct communication is really important. But those friendly little ritual things are just as important. Saying hello to somebody, walking by an old lady on the street, walking along with a frown on her face and saying, "Hello, I hope you have a beautiful day." That can make her life.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. And, it's so full of these paradoxes, isn't it? Where, on the one hand, we need to let the little stuff go, like little things that other people may say or do that may irritate us. Little things, sometimes we just do need to let them go. Other times we need to not let them go and not stuff them, and we need to express ourselves and so forth. But there's the letting the little stuff go, and then there's the little things do make a difference. One of my favorite stories with a little thing making a difference, I was in Costco, and there was this just wonderful African-American woman dressed to the nines. Like, she just looked like a goddess. She had like a full-length, beautiful, colorful dress and some kind of hat and a lot of jewelry. And she looked really stressed out. She was at the, checkout aisle, like looking for someone, and she just had this stressed out look. And I just walked up to her and I said, "Excuse me, I know you don't know me, but I just have to tell you, you are a goddess. Look at you. Look at how you show up in a public place like this in Costco, and you dress like the goddess that you are. I just have to commend you and celebrate you for that." And she burst into tears, and she hugged me so hard, and she said, oh, honey, you just made my day. You just made my day. I'm going to call my daughter right now and tell her what you just told me. I can't wait to call my daughter. God bless you. God bless you. You just made my day." And she just went on, right? And I was like, so often we have these little thoughts, and we think, oh, someone's going to think it's weird, or I'm too busy. We just thought so. But when we can just do these random acts of kindness, especially such a difference in people's lives. And it is about the energy, and it makes us feel good too, right? It's like a hug. You can't give a hug without getting a hug. When you give a compliment, genuine from your heart, you're getting blessed too, right? So let's pop back, guys.
I have a love of doing this kind of thing
with them real quick.
Right. The brief thing I was going to tie into saying was, the whole concept of ritual and taking that reflective time. I take that time for myself in the morning, because the morning is when you set your intention.
Right.
Take that time. Have your tea, have your coffee, nothing hard. Go sit on the front porch if you have one. Create a space where you can just enjoy, or go to a space where you can just enjoy 15 minutes to a half an hour to just be you and take in what's around you with a smile. It's really important. And the other thing is, like what we were talking, Sage was talking about the Native American lady. I have this habit of liking to walk into people's lives, and it's like the whole concept of taking that opportunity to just reach out to somebody you don't know, having a sense of touching in, and being able to even build relationships. And I have friendships that are really deep friendships that have been built up based on that action. And so that's so 7 ways your energy field can be blocked. The chakras.
Yeah, let's get into these. Yeah.
And so there are symptoms that go along with the chakras being blocked, like the first chakra. There's a leaky first chakra. Money comes in, goes out. That feeling of not being taken care of, or that sense of lack in the department of housing, clothing,
health
food,
challenges, housing issues, feeling unsafe in your body.
And the second chakra, it's like, I'm a creative person, but I'm not expressing. Why am I not expressing? There's something going on there.
And that was true for Mark for a long time. He got it healed, and now he's just awesome with his shamanic mandala art.
Thank you. Yeah.
Incredible art.
Power center issues, where they're unable to, and the other thing I want to say is, it's not just individual chakras that are out of balance or blocked. There's usually linkages between chakras that share a problematic symptom expression.
The
like
whole
a lot of
and harmonized.
So there's a challenge with the expression of creativity. There may be a power center linkage with that. Oftentimes there's a throat chakra expression issue that's linked to the power center.
The third and the fifth are very connected, and the second and the fourth are very connected in sexuality, and then the heart and emotion. There's a lot of different nuances and kind of higher levels to the way that we teach, and we serve as healers. We do healing work, but we also like to teach people self-healing and help people, be empowered in their own healing capacity too. So certainly the heart. We could talk more about all of the chakras, but the third and fourth, we talked about the sixth chakra, the third eye. A lot of people have past life issues causing some of the challenges, and especially in particular with the third eye. And I do believe past lives are a real thing. That's part of my spiritual universe. But even if someone doesn't think they're a real thing, or they're not sure if that's relevant or not, for whatever reason, if there's something that caused someone to disconnect from their own intuitive abilities, out of fear, out of judgment, out of shame, or somebody got hurt, or they don't know how to control what are they letting in. Not everything in the universe is a positive thing. So you want to open your intuitive capacities and open your third eye and your inner ear, but you want to do it in a way that's love-based and that's God-based, and that's 100%, positive and love and light and that kind of thing. So there's a lot with that, with the sixth chakra. I also see a lot of people's seventh chakras have a block, a cap. There's actually a cap that can be psychically reviewed, and symptoms if they have a seventh chakra cap is that no matter how many times they meditate or pray or do ritual, they feel like they're not hearing anything. They're not seeing anything. It's like, I'm showing up, I'm going through the motions, I'm trying to do these spiritual practices, but yet, why do I not feel, that spiritual energy? Why do I not hear it myself? Why the other people can see it and hear it and feel it, and why not me? And often that's because there's something that literally needs to be cleared out of the aura. So that's number one. It's a whole category, but the chakras being blocked or having other issues is one category. Another category that for the energy healing is the aura and the overall chi. And as a Reiki master, Brenda, you totally get that about the ki and the chi. And this is why Reiki is so important and so powerful. And not that everyone has to become a Reiki master, but I do believe everyone needs to master energy in some form or another. We all master the flow of energy, within us and in our lives. And so really raising your chi and your ki and bringing in more of the positive is really important. Do you want to talk about the next one?
The male and the female energies are really important, and an imbalance in that often stems out of relationship failures that result in personal,
intimate relationship. It could be a lot of it is from that, but a lot of it can also be mother wound or father wound. A lot of people have mother and father issues, and it might not be their genetic or mother or father or the one that raised them, or it could be, but it could also be, the divine mother, the divine father. And
this actually couples with other aspect of energy failure, and that is cordages. And cordages between people or entities through lifetimes or what have you. These are like drains, siphons of your personal energy, and the whole concept of soul loss is coupled with this.
That would be a whole other category. Yeah, absolutely. And patterns from the past, past life, ancestral, this life. I think another important point is disconnection from the earth and from your own body. And I'm someone who, believe me, I had so many first chakra issues. I literally have almost died 19 times, Brenda.
Wow.
19 times. And I decided to stop having so many near-death experiences and try to have more fully alive experiences, FAEs, instead of so many NDEs. And I was kind of using this like coming close to death and physical health challenges and disabilities as kind of part of my spiritual path. But it's really unpleasant and draining, and it prevents you from moving forward with your life if you're constantly dealing with some drama of, health or finances or moving again or whatever. So I had so much...
Does that tie into the wounded child phenomena as well?
Yes, definitely. And I was adopted. So for me, a lot of it went back to that whole thing, physical and emotional and energetic abandonment. Not that I was dumped in a sewer somewhere, but I was, given up for adoption, and my birth mother was not allowed to hold me. And I had some kind of immune system thing going on, even at birth. So they didn't release me from the hospital for a week. So I was basically in the hospital for a week. The nurses holding me. The nurses loved me, apparently. And the nurses were holding me. Still not quite, God bless the nurses, right? But it's still not quite the same as having your mother holding you. And my birth mother and I have a good relationship, though. She's in my life, and she's a grandmother to the kids. And we have things that we work through healing, for sure, because it was a big wound for her as well. But I'm grateful to have her in my life and to have another person to love and be loved by, So I tend to help a lot of women with mother wound issues, or even what I've noticed lately is there's this sister wound where sometimes women have been hurt by other women in their lives. There's so much attention on the men, the men causing the wars and the sexual abuse and, domestic violence, and those are real things, and I'm not disputing them, and I have had my own Me Too stories, which I don't have to go into here, but I do understand that can cause a disconnection from the male, right? But we can also have issues of disconnection from the female and feeling unmet or unloved or unsupported by women in our lives. If we have women who've betrayed us, or just those unequal relationships, where you're always like chasing the other person and you're more available and you're holding up 90% of the relationship. And then at some time you wake up and go, I'm tired of doing 90% of this relationship. You know, I just to be honored and treasured by other people, men and women, right? You know, who totally get me and want to be with me, are excited and feel blessed to have the opportunity to connect with me, right? So there's issues people may have about that, about the sister wound, the mother wound, the father wound, the brother wound, feeling disconnected from the earth and their own body, not feeling fully embodied.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff is there's many different models of our human energy bodies, you know, our human energy centers. And there's like 88,000 chakras in the human body, and we only focus mainly on the 7 that we all talk about. Some could focus on as many. That's extraneous, but I look at another model of the human being from a 3-part point of view: a moving center, an emotional center, and an intellectual center. And so it's kind of a simplified way of looking at the human state of affairs and what have you. So the whole concept of, you know, the stinking thinking and also the stinking emotions, the whole concept of, you know, these things is like, I look at the heart as a bicameral energy center. There's a higher heart and lower heart, and where the lower heart involves itself in all those emotive kinds of things that aren't really constructive. And then there's the mind that goes wild with all the stinking thinking. But there's, you know, just as we have the problem with being ungrounded and not connected with the earth, we also have the issue of disconnection from heaven and the divine.
Right.
And that can come from a number of things too. You know, looking at organized religion, what's been done in the name of Jesus or whomever, you know, what political misuse of religion has there been? Right. And abuses that have happened in the you know, that capacity. And then also, you know, even in our modern world, being so heavily focused on, you know, the drive to accomplish, just as we lose touch with nature, we lose touch with the etheric and the subtle, the universe, God, heaven, however you want to label it or define it. Yeah. There's an importance, and, you know, it's like the whole concept, you know, Sage was saying the other night, you know, it's like, it's so important to have all the lights shut off and all the EMF emitters turned off. And, you know, you have that sense of darkness when you sleep at night. And I turned to her and I said, you know, just out of my own perspective, if you really want a good night's sleep, sleep outdoors. Yes. Because in that sense, you're connected with earth and you're connected with the heavens, because you sleep under the stars, you sleep under the moon. And, you know, that moon might keep you up, but that silver light has a medicine too. Absolutely. And that is absorbed in a more feminine manner. Sure. And then there's something to, you know, laying on the earth and being in touch. The whole concept of walking barefoot and having that electromagnetic connection with the earth. It's really true. Even from the shamanic perspective of the heart, the drum, the heart of the earth, and that so forth and so on. And you know what I was just remembering too? Mark has this amazing gift. We have some gifts for everybody. Can we share some gifts with everybody? Fantastic. Yes. Your gift is about grounding, isn't it? Because we were just talking about that earthing and connecting with the earth. So he's got a really awesome meditation for everybody. Yeah, it's a very trance-inducing space. It's a gift to you to offer you a space of going within, a space of certain quietude, and an opportunity to lower the frequency vibration of your brain waves and get a taste of my work while benefiting from something over and over again. This is something that you can use over and over again. And it's a little video and an audio, and it's called The Ultimate Grounding Meditation. And it's a 21-day that I prescribe for people to listen to it for 21 days straight.
So what's the website so they can collect that?
And it's the ultimate grounding meditation.com.
And meditation.com. Wonderful.
Yeah, sign up there, and you'll get a communication that has the video, which actually is of me doing work on a painting.
You'll see him creating the shamanic mandala magic.
Yeah,
you actually see the magic happen. This, and then you'll hear his voice. And you can do it either open-eyed or closed-eyed, right? Is that right, honey? Remember that.
Yeah, you can do it either way. If you want my advice on it, it would be nice to find a safe, quiet place with a comfortable chair and a glass of water, and you sit and you close your eyes and you listen to it. You know, you can use it with your eyes open the first time, so you get to see me working away at the painting.
Right.
But after that, you can just treat it as an audio, and I think it works great that way.
That's great. And the nice thing too about with Mark, if you want to explore more about what he does, the money Reiki zaps and the shamanic clearing sessions, you'll have the email. Then you can just pop them back an email. And we have Facebook groups too. We have Mystic Light Reiki public Facebook group. I've got a Be a Prosperous Goddess. You're in there, Brenda. I think you're in the Reiki one too. And so we have some free Facebook groups too. You can look us up on there. And then I have a gift for everybody too.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I have a gift.
Share with us. Yeah.
Got a gift. Yeah. So my gift is at the website is beaprosperousgoddess.com. So it's beaprosperousgoddess.com. beaprosperousgoddess.com. And it's a really juicy masterclass all about aligning with the divine. It's called the 5 Sacred Secrets to deeply connect to Source, divinely align with your soul purpose, and live your dream life. And it's really, people are loving it. It's really empowering. And it's a beautiful webinar. You can watch it anytime. But you do need to just opt in there so that you can have your immediate access to it. And I'll be sharing with you about goddess wisdom and your soul purpose and the secret to more flow, so you can manifest your heart's desires of more abundance and creativity and live the life that's inspired and intuitive that you really, really love, and shine and as the highest level goddess that you came here to be, and really live that life. So I'm delighted to share that. We have several thousand women enjoying that already, and I'm here to share it with millions of women. So men can get into it. So it's men can also jump in there and enjoy that as well. beaprosperousgoddess.com. So thank you for allowing us to share those goodies with everybody.
And the thing about knowing Sage for over 20 years, so, it's like 21 plus years.
Yeah.
It's like I just can't get over all of the amazing, informative content, value things that she comes up with in volumes.
I am kind of
it's like
in that way.
She is totally amazing at. It's like there's an eternal font of information, and it's like you can choose what resonates for you best, and check the other later. And it's like
I think I have about 12 online courses that I've created at this point.
Wow!
Wow! Or there's Archangel Michael's Wisdom School. There's the boot camp and the Prosperous Goddess retreat. We're talking about doing a retreat in Ireland in 2020. I mean, there's just
nice.
I know, it's going to be amazing. When you're so on fire with your purpose and your mission, and you see the need that there's literally millions of people who need to align more and live this life of prosperity and health and happiness, no matter where you're at, right now, no matter what your starting point. We are just delighted to help you, and we've seen the results with people, over all these years for decades. So, reach out and love yourself enough to receive the support, and then please trust your intuition. You'll know when you get a bit more of a taste of what Mark shares and what I share. You'll know where you need to go next with that. You'll know if that's going go higher with us or whatever. We just want you to enjoy these resources and trust your intuition on it. And please send us an email. Let us know how you enjoy things. And if you have any questions, we're responsive. We're not the kind of, 6-figure healers who hide behind 10 gatekeepers. Like, you can't actually reach us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the assistant will write you maybe next week or something. We actually respond to people. We're old-fashioned like that. We believe in the personal touch.
Yeah, it's true. We love people. We love seeing people bloom, and seeing those relationships open up and expand and change and evolve. It's a beautiful thing. That's why we do this work.
It's true. I'm still in touch with some of my clients from like 25 years ago. I still hear from Barbara. I still hear from Shannon. There's some other ones that I'm still connected with from way, way back. So it's
that's what I love about you both, is that you are so amazingly in tune with each other, and yet so beautifully attuned apart from each other, and that the beauty of your work just keeps shining through in such a beautiful and personal way. So it's just incredible what you two have been able to develop, and you've gone through the fire, and now here you are enjoying the fruits of your labor, and we never even touched on half the things the show has. I want everybody to know this show exploded in a way that we didn't really plan. So, these two amazing people, their love just bubbles through and percolates through in such an amazing way. We didn't touch on the fact that Sage and I are actually in a book together, and that Embraced by the Divine book, for anybody who wants to find it on Amazon, please do so, because those stories are amazing. And Mark, your amazing mandala work, is just amazing what energy flows through there. And we've alluded to some of these things, but you guys are just incredible, and you just continue to keep blossoming and growing and inspiring in such an amazing way. I want to thank you both so much for being guests with me tonight, and I will put the links for all these beautiful gifts into the show archives as well, and post them and share them. And I just am so blessed to have had this time with you both.
Brenda,
it's always a blessing to be with you too. I mean, we love you. You're such a wonderful, pure human being. To connect with you in any way and every way. And I know we were already connected before we were co-authors together in Embraced by the Divine, and then that connected us further. And it's such a joy. I'm so delighted that you reached out and invited us onto this. And this is an amazing program. I mean, Ageless Blissings, who doesn't want that? True.
That's the aim.
And,
any age, any stage.
People pretty ageless most of the time, So I want to share blessings from our hearts to you for having us here, and to everyone for spending some time with us and allowing us to be part of your day and your evening. And we look forward to connecting further. And blessings to everybody. So thank you. Blessings and blessings. Blessings and blessings.
Yes, so everybody, thank you for taking time out of your precious day and evening to be with us, and, live inspired and always be empowered, and make bliss a part of your everyday experience. So thank you very much for being with us all, and this show is a wrap. Bye for now.
You have been listening to Ageless Blissings Radio on the Sacred Embers Network. To experience more of Ageless Blissings Radio and magazine, visit us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Ageless Blissings. See you next time for more great conversation, and have a wonderful body, mind, and spirit-filled week.